Oh my God, that thing is so bright when you turn that on. It's not even funny. Super, super bright. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit about lighting and how important it is to create light, because lighting is critical to your photos and videos. You guys know this as a photographer, as a videographer. Lighting is what separates you from the rest. Today we're going to be talking about the Sutefoto P80. But before that, I just gotta get you guys' opinion. So let's just go with intensity. We have different, what do you guys think? Am I kind of like a red demonish, kind of epic nightclub type of looking backlight there? Or should we go kind of more neutral, kind of like movie star-ish music video kind of tint? Oh my gosh, and this thing can go like Green Lantern. Holy crap, Green Lantern. Let's not go Green Lantern. Let's go with, I kind of like that like neon purple. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below. What should that backlight be set? Because that's pretty cool, right? What do you think? Just kind of, let's kind of stick with the neutral kind of that. Bring down the intensity. Yeah, let's get into the video. Roll the intro. So get this, Sutefoto has come up with a light called the P80. It is 80 watts LED, CCT, HSI, RGB, effects, all that at a $200 price point. My very first light was obviously on a budget. As a photographer, we're setting our budget from photography and video, and that just kind of comes into a little budget price point. So you're getting all these features at a $200 price point. When I started this YouTube channel, I was looking for a budget light to start off with, and the go-to light was the Godox SL60W. It was just a fixed temperature light. Today, there are so many options for lights. If you look on Amazon, you will be overwhelmed with the number of lights that are offered at different price points. Sutefoto reached out to me the other day and said, Rick, would you be interested in checking out one of our lights? And I actually kind of Googled the specific light that they were talking about, that they were interested in showing me. So I Googled it and I was like, wow, it's got a lot of features at a ridiculously budget-friendly price point of $200. So I've been testing out this light for 2 weeks now. And you know, just like anything that I talk about on this channel, it is unbiased. Now, specs are great, but is it really working for the average photographer, the videographer? Sutefoto does list this light again at 80 watts. It's RGB, HSI, CCT, and effects. So it's got a lot of features packed into a light like this. It's all metal body construction, and it's actually really tiny. When I first opened it up, I was like, wow, this thing is super tiny compared to Godox SL60. Let's be honest, as a photographer and a videographer, there are so many things that we purchase, and there's always pros and cons to everything that we buy. So I think it's great to kind of go over those things. Let's start off with the pros. Again, the P80 is a CCT, RGB, HSI, and effects LED light. Now, Sutefoto does rate this light as an 80 watt LED light. It's got a CRI rating of 96, and its CCT Kelvin temperature can go from 2800 all the way to 10,000. So it's got a really big spectrum in terms of the bi-color options on this light. Its all metal body design is super nice. It feels solidly built, and I feel like I can just grab it by the handle, just kind of hold it. It doesn't seem like it's gonna get damaged. The P80 is actually Bluetooth enabled. Now, I'll be honest, I'm not really a fan of app-based lights. However, I gotta say, the app is actually really decent. Very straightforward. I've never had any disconnect. You know, it's not as polished as other apps, but it does suit all the functions. You can kind of change all of your settings. You can go into the CCT, RGB, and HSI mode, and also the effects mode. And what's beautiful about the app is that it actually changes in real time. The app does support 6 groups of lights, so if you have multiple P80s around, you can kind of group them all together and it'll all work on the app. The light itself is actually surprisingly small. I mean, when I'm holding it in hand, it's actually really small compared to even my SL60 from Godox. You know, again, it's metal construction, but the body of it is super small and compact. I'll be honest, when I pulled it out of the box, I pulled it out of its packaging, it does come with a nice little case. I was like, that's it? I mean, it is tiny. Now, because of the size of the actual housing of this light, the power unit itself is a separate unit. One of the best parts about this light that I've discovered is that it can actually be powered by NPF style batteries. I think the biggest selling point on this light at this price point is the fact that it can use NPF style batteries to power it on location. Having a light like this compact, just picking up the stand, taking it on location, using it with a softbox or a grid or anything you like, just to pin light someone or even use it as a main light, I think is really, really awesome. Now, it takes two to power the unit. You typically don't get the option for both battery power and AC power, so it gives you a lot of flexibilities. If you're filmmakers shooting on location, this light could be a go-to for you. We all know that LED lights, given its CRI rating, etc., always kind of falls off with its greens or magentas sometimes. So what's really nice about this light, it actually gives you the option to kind of alter that. So there is a setting on the app where you can kind of really dial down the greens and magenta to kind of match your set or match your other lights. Let's talk about the cons for a second. Like everything else, there's always going to be pros and cons, especially when it comes to photo and video equipment. This is a chip-based LED light, really nice. It's got, you know, a single chip and then also has smaller LEDs, which gives you the HSI and RGB mode. Now, with that said, I'm not super technically knowledgeable on how these LEDs are created, but you'll notice that there is a sort of a fall off within the COB. When you project it onto a wall, this is kind of, maybe I can kind of put some footage up on this so I can show you what I mean. So you'll see that there's sort of the main color temperature on the light, and then you'll have sort of this kind of a halo ring around the light. So that can actually be something that can affect your video production. You might be able to see that, but typically for a light like this, I might throw it in a Fresnel or a diffusion panel and now kind of offset that a little bit. But it's something to kind of be aware of, and I wanted to kind of let you guys know that. I gotta say the fit and finish is a little bit rough. It does have a Bones mount, but I felt like when I was putting my Bowen mount attachments, whether it's Fresnel, whether it's a softbox, it wouldn't lock in as easily as my other lights. It just felt like the fit and finish wasn't there. I mean, once you force it in, it will go in. So if you can deal with that, it's perfectly fine. The startup time on the P80 takes a little while. I think it's not a switch on off. It's actually kind of one of those press and hold buttons. So it takes about 3 seconds for it to power on. Fan noise. Yes, it has a fan. No, you cannot hear it in real world kind of interview type environments. I mean, really depends. I wouldn't put this light that close to the talent or the person that you're interviewing anyway, so it really shouldn't be a problem. The biggest complaint I have with this light is actually the back of the light. The user interface is it's very dated. It looks like something from, you know, I don't know if you guys know anything about computers, but like the PC DOS days. Like, it's so old and so dated. It's not really nice to look at. It's not that easy to read, actually, but it does provide all the information that you need, but it's honestly not the most friendliest looking user interface. And another thing is the dials back here, they don't have the tactile feel that you get from other brands. You can't really blame Sutefoto. I mean, the price point for this light is pretty much in the budget range, and this is kind of where I feel like that's where they sacrifice in materials and build. It just doesn't feel as great. But to counter that, I gotta give credit to Sutefoto for making an app that actually works perfectly. Again, I never had any issues logging into the app through Bluetooth, and once it's in there, I can make adjustments right away. So kind of pros and cons there, but you know, it's awesome. I would basically just use this light entirely through the app. So in conclusion, is this light worth buying? In terms of feature set, I feel like this light has a lot of the features that you would ever want. Now, if you are on a budget and this is and you can only afford one light, this could be a really great option. I mean, it has a lot of features that you just can't get at a light at this price point. Again, I remember when I started this YouTube channel, there was no RGB lights. In fact, if you wanted an RGB light, you had to spend way more money, somewhere around the maybe $600–700 range before you can even kind of get there. So I don't know, for $200 with the feature set, if you guys are a beginning filmmaker, if you guys are starting out maybe your own YouTube channel, this could be a really great option to consider. To have all these options in one light is really nice. Bluetooth enabled, 80 watts of light, all the features of effects, sRGB. I didn't do an unboxing for this, but it does come in a nice padded case to kind of keep everything together. Really nice that they included something like this, because usually lights at this price point don't have anything like that. So guys, if you're interested in a light like this, let me know in the comments down below, and also leave links in the description. And again, it doesn't cost you anything more than what you would pay, but it will certainly help out the channel. Guys, thanks for watching. If you guys like videos like this, please consider subscribing, liking the video, because it will definitely help out so I can make future videos. And I'll see you guys in the next one.